Hello everybody, my name is Silvia Lima and in this video I will give a more detailed view on what our developments in the new release UcamX version 2020.12 can do for you. The roadmap through this video will be the release overview. You can find that on our homepage on Software UcamX in the release notes. In this video I will explain each development and show how it works. Stay on top of data formats multiplicity with the new input option for IPC DPMX input, formerly known as IPC 2581. Even large files containing complicated data and describing the most complex printed circuit boards can be imported smoothly. This industrialized import is also included in our new integrator release. Let me show you how easy it is. As always with our imports, you go to Job, Import Job, select the DPMX input. In the GUI, you can select your folder and the file you want to import. You have a nice preview and can open it directly. Depending on the size, it reads it in very fast, and you can have a look directly at the layer names, the subclasses, all the information on apertures and so on. Everything which is inside the DPMX import is available. As promised to you in the past, our YELO products are growing and helping to enlarge the automation. One of the new automated adjustments is the wire pad stack move. Solve wire hole clearance faults by fully automatic move of wire holes together with their corresponding pad tracks. Let's see how that will work. When I open the Copper Adjuster menu, I only need the plated hole to plated hole clearance, and I use a very high value so we can see something clearly in the layout. In addition, I select the adjust parameter via pad stack move, and I give it a value which is not to be violated, so the maximum move would be 5 millimeters. As you can see, we have 3 errors here. It is in this area, and here. And we are finished with the net compare, finding no errors. And the overview we get back from the Copper Adjuster, where before there was an amount of 3 errors, and now we have 0. To have a look at what was done, I start up with the plated holes and use the original layers, and you see 4 of them were moved quite big away. And if I now go through the layers, you see that the pads and the traces are adjusted so the netlist is not violated. Same for inner layers and the other side. To speed up extensive processes like we've seen with the wire pad stack move, we enable our features to use parallel process. That means the process is using more than one core, if available, of course. While we are at it, let me show the new same net spacing to you. You find it in the Copper Adjuster menu, directly where the same net clearance was before. But now you not only have this single global threshold, which was working for everywhere, now you can use the object clearance thresholds for the same net. So for example, a pad to trace, a trace to trace, and things like that. Another one is the new automated adjustment repair for plated slots. Ring violation for plated slots are now reported and automatically repaired. To show how this is working, I will zoom a little bit more in so you have a better view of it. And I open the copper adjuster. I need to define a minimum ring, of course, or an optimum ring, or both. And I need the adjustment parameter of drilled pads expand. And when I let it run, I will get the backup layers. Of course, it will activate automatically the drill layers hitting active copper layers. And as we can see, we have solved 4 errors solved, and the net compare is without an issue. So, and of course we can see it is repaired completely. There is a time-saving new feature to update aperture and vector text at the same time and through all layers, selected layers, and through all block levels. This one is even free to use if you are under maintenance. To show how the text updater is working, I opened a job, which is a quite standard panel created by our Panel Plus. And as always, you have a lot of information in text form in here. So for example, the user, the date code, the name, or whatever information you are using. And I prepared some text so we can see clearly what happens. Very easily you open the text updater and directly you have the complete list of available text in the whole job. So in blue the aperture text, in red the vector text, and in green if you have the same text in both versions. If you want to change something, you select the text you want to have. So I want to have this one, and you can decide if you only want to change it on active layers or through the whole job. I would like to change both texts at the same time, so I give it a new text in here and I say update, and that's it. To explain why we invented this new feature, let us have a look at the pictures. With a nice rectangular pad in the layout, you will get a very rounded pad after the etching process. The loss of copper can cause issues, for example, in assembly later on. So we thought about adding horns. The horns in layout would look like this, and before the etching process they would look like that. After the etching we have a much better rectangular shape and all the copper we need still there. Of course, I would like to show that off. For this I need the CQH compensation, and this automatic process is implemented inside the CQH compensation. So you don't have to run anything on top or after or whatever. It is completely in the same run. First, it's going to spread the copper to your values, then checking if the clearances are correct and adding the horns. The net compare at the end makes sure that nothing is broken. So if we now have a look, for example here, you see nice horns. That was before, and you see the horns here, and you see that the clearance in between prevents the horns to get together. Let us have a look somewhere else. Here you see the horns, and you see that they are cut away if the clearance is violated. The auto markup is extended too. The extended markup of copper pads supports complex apertures and conserves CAM resources. In addition, identification of rows of SMD pads with a pitch below a certain threshold. This is a new feature and has been added in markup of copper pads and simplifies, for example, the selection process of SMD rows. While going through the markup process, I would like to show you another very useful development. It's an extension to Drill Tool Manager. It saves unnecessary labor when adding aperture names directly while running Drill Tool Manager instead of adding them manually. Let's see. If I load the current drill file, I select my table, my script, or whatever I would like to use. In addition, I can give an aperture name to specific tools. And when I'm now updating, you see the new names. And if I'm calculating first, you even see the diameters. Going through the markup process is now only one click. So I do the auto markup and directly see the SMD pads, the wire pads, and whatever is in there as attribute then. I can go to Query Object, try one of these, and yeah, that's a little bit small, so I make it a little bit bigger. And you see on top, not on top, on bottom, you see the U pad belongs to horizontal row, number 4. This one, for example, U pad belongs to vertical row. So if I go there, make a copy of that, and use my object attributes, I can put it in here and, for example, can select every pad which belongs to a vertical row. If I only want to have a specific one, I can give it the number we have and see this is number 4. I can do the same for the horizontal rows and whatever. So selecting something like that is quite easy. To show that the markup is now working on complex pads too, I will select them, and for example these here should be an SMD pad, I assume. So if I go there and you see, yes, they are marked up now as an SMD pad. Legend Adjuster is another part of YELO we extended. We were asked a lot of times if we can do an automatic line width repair in Legend Adjuster. And of course we developed that for you. This is quite easy to show, so I open the Legend Adjuster. The text recognition was extended too. Some were complaining that you not always see very good where the text is. So if text is running in each other, do I have an example here? No, not yet. But you can imagine with a small frame like this, you directly see where the text starts and ends. If I go to the verify process now, I can put in a minimum line width and it not only checks it, but if I go to the adjustment and let it run through, I can increase the line width, automatically expand and shrink the frames and move the texts. And voila, let me move that out of the way. The original layer You not only see that it is moved, it is now quite the size we want to have it. The third part of our YELO suite is the mask adjuster. It's now in beta and will eventually replace the solder mask optimizer with upgraded algorithms. Let your knowledge and requirement be part of our current development by testing it. It is available to customers under maintenance with the existing solder mask optimizer license. The beta testing of the YELO mask adjuster is coming with the outstanding Tombstone and solder escape prevention we invented. It adjusts the mask to have the most positive impact on the assembly process. This is a beta test and a new option available to all for beta testing in this release only. YELO mask adjuster is completely new. Even if you see things in here, you say, yes, I know that from solder mask optimizer. In the background, there are complete new algorithms and to make it faster and better. So I would like to show the Tombstone and solder escape prevention a little bit more in detail. I let it run through and then we will have a closer look at it. Let me go somewhere more in detail. Yeah. For example, the possibility is if you have a ring for a pad which is included in copper, you can say, I want to have not the normal ring like here. No, you want to have it the same size as the copper pad. This is for the Tombstone prevention. The ring on connecting tracks is in this case 25 micron, so you have considered still the production shifting, but you minimize the solder escape onto the connecting tracks. Same is, for example, here. If I let you see the drill file, if the solder mask would be bigger, the dam may be not big enough, so you reduce that and have a solid solder mask dam there to prevent the solder escape. If we go back a little bit and have a look, for example, here, you see the Tombstone prevention. This is one component, and if I would make this the same size as this one, the copper area would be much bigger and that could cause problems in assembly. I would like to get your feedback on this and all the other parts in here so we can develop to your requirements or your ideas, and yeah, I'm looking forward to your feedback. We are still not at the end of our developments in this release. One of the new ones is lock layers. You get heightened security to prevent that locked layers are saved when using job safe. For example, while simulating different values or changes, or adding scaling, or test other things. The other way around, it is you want to make sure nothing else is saved. So while you are working on, for example, the top layer, you lock everything else, and with job safe only the unlocked layers are saved. The layers toolbar in Job Edit has been extended with lock active and unlock active, so it is fast and easy to handle. A long-standing wish of our customers was to have the workspaces we have in UcamX in our smart products too, for example, for smart test. If I open a smart product now, for example, the smart test, I have the workspaces available. This gives the possibility to create a workspace specifically for the requirements of an electrical test. So no secure edge compensation or copper adjuster or something like that. We go there, use an electrical test, and you have, of course, a flash maker, the selections and other things in the toolbars. And this is a quite useful development, I think. A small but very useful development is the extension of our copper repair. The decision is back in your hands. The new optional copper repair let you choose between putting the repairs into separate layers to be checked before usage, then merged, or to add the repairs directly to the checked layers. It's not an issue. You can still select what is changed. To show this, it is really easy. We go to the copper repair, and here you can select if you want to have the separate layers or not. Separate layers, you know, will give you for each type a new layer. So P-level, slivers in this case. No pinholes there. You can look them up and then decide what you want to have. The other way around is, let me read it in again. Same job. But now I don't want to put it in separate layers. If I go to apply, it runs through. And you see you have two new apertures in here, and you can select them and then have a look at it if it's what you want to have. Last but not least, we extended the ODB import. You get more detailed information as LPD attributes now added as layer attributes if an LDP file exists in the ODB structure. On top of it, an introduction of a new UcamDB key allows influence of conversion of layers with negative polarity. Import ODB data with polarity converted to your requirements now. Okay, to show how the extensions in the ODB import are working, first I import a job. For example, the panel of this one. And if I now have a look at the attributes, go to layer attributes and have a look at the LPD attributes. I see a lot of them, and all the information on the LPD layer is in here. For example, the X stretch and Y stretch and other information. The second extension was a key we invented. And if I go there and then use it, it's the ODB input apply layer polarity. The default is it is not defined. That means it is false. If I would read something in with the default, I would see the layer marked as reverse data, looking like this, and the data is reverse. If I use it like I've set it here, so to true, I can import a job. For example, this one. And you see there is no marking of reverse data in here, and the data is like every other copper layer too. Now we are at the end of the video. The installer can be downloaded from the UCAM FTP download server. As most internet browsers have stopped supporting FTP download, we recommend that you use an FTP client to do so. Please install this update as your earliest convenience. For any further questions you may have, please contact our local business partner or the UcamCo help desk. Thank you for choosing a UcamCo product. If you are interested in a little bit of history, you can have a look in the release overview at the end, what we have done as highlights in every release. Thank you very much for your attention. Bye.